We put it in, level it up, pull the fixings in, so obviously it's secured into place, and then what we do, we just make sure everything's spot on. Hi, Joe from Glazing Hub, back on site in Uttoxeter. Obviously last time we were here we did the survey, got all the designs together, sent that across to Adam to obviously get it all signed off and approved. We're now back on site doing the installation, obviously just showing you kind of what we do, how we do it. Obviously in the normal circumstances all of this would be dust sheeted. We're in a building site, so obviously it's slightly different today, but we'll do a rip out of the window, show you kind of from start to finish of what we do and how we do it.
How long does this process normally take?
Very much depends on the window that's coming out. A window from to start to finish, you're probably looking at an hour and a half. Depending on the size of a full house, you're looking at anywhere between 3 to 5 days. So obviously what we've done there, remove the sashes in there, which then just leaves the outer frame. So effectively now we'll cut the outer frame and plaster it in the hole.
Would someone normally expect to need to get a plaster in, or?
No, very, very rare. What we try to do is obviously cut the frame, collapse the window, the actual window frame within the aperture, so effectively it causes as minimal damage as we can as possible. We normally picture frame around the inside, so if there is a slight bit of plaster chipping or anything like that, effectively it's kind of corked, filled, and then obviously the trims go around the outside. It then leaves no decoration for the customers, or very, very minimal.
If there is any touch-up, it's literally probably just a little dab of paint or something.
Correct, yeah, if anything. Obviously in this circumstances it's very different. We're standing in the middle of a building site, so yeah, it's hard to kind of give a true representation of how it happens because of the situation we're in. We've just moved to a different room, ripped out the window in the room next door. Just come back here, we've prepped this window already, so effectively this was the first one that came out. The other guy obviously preps the windows, getting it ready to go back in, while we effectively rip the other one out. Seals on, trickle vents on, handles on, everything like that. So this window is now ready to go in the hole and be fitted. We're now going to try and level it up. So what Terry's doing now, obviously we put the fixings in, so it's not just a case of putting the window in and kind of foaming it in place. We put it in, level it up, pull the fixings in, so obviously it's secured into place, and then what we do, we just make sure everything's spot on. And then effectively, so these trickle vents, you literally just pop it open, you have a trickle of air. But, like if you look at the gap at the bottom, to the gap at the top, that's the problem with old properties.
What's that gap from?
Levelling the window and the property being out of level.
So that gap is the wall just out of shape?
Out of shape.
And this left-hand one was on hinges, but you screwed that in?
Correct.
Why?
So the difference is, if you come downstairs, I'll show you. You might well have seen on this on the flush windows that you can't actually notice which one's an opener. With your standard traditional PVC, you can always see the larger outer frame, so effectively you can see where that sash is. With these, that is something called dummy sashed. So effectively you've got an actual opening casement frame which is then fixed shut. Aesthetically it looks a lot better, it's a lot more balanced than it comes as standard on a flush window. The windows that we've got in the property of flush windows, we did that to give it more of a heritage look. Obviously it's an old property, so instead of just going for your standard PVC, your sculpted or your chamfered, which is kind of your more traditional PVC, we've gone for the flush, keeps the period, features within the property, put the 9mm lead in, it matches with what the kind of the character of the property and everything like that. The agate grey kind of matches within the local area. There's a couple of properties with it on, so that was the thoughts behind this kind of window that we went for. So yeah, flush agate grey with your 9mm lead. This is kind of during the installation, so the window's gone in, obviously it's all been leveled up. With a PVC window, you have to leave an expansion gap where the windows can obviously expand and contract. And what you do, you fill that with expanding foam, and then effectively the lads will come back and they'll start the finishing process, so getting it all sealed, trimmed, everything like that, so it's finished, ready for the homeowner.